So, hello everyone. This is Shalia Stevens and Will Morgan, and today we're talking to Francesca about the fact that we are built for this, in the challenges of COVID-19 and pandemic, and the challenges of lockdown, and also specifically in this conversation with Francesca about what can happen, what we can do as humans that's innate to all of us around the challenges when our business is in an industry where it no longer works in the way that it used to. So, Francesca, tell us a bit about your story.
Hi. My story. Sorry, I just need to get rid of a window. As you know, I own some restaurants. And that is one of the industries that has been hit the most. I also own a language school, which is another industry that's been completely depleted and is at the moment non-existent. When this happened in the UK, I had already been watching this film as I was following what was happening with COVID-19 in Italy. And so I had already been preparing. Well, what happened was that the 2 weeks previous to when everything kicked off in England was the time when I was exercising my human right to panic. So I did all my panicking before everybody else here. And when they told us to close the restaurants, when we were told to close the restaurants, I was thinking, what can I do? What can I do to help? Because I knew that my income wouldn't exist. I didn't really worry. I don't know, maybe by having come across this understanding, I've learned to be less worried about the future, about sticking to what I see now. I take life, as Wynne knows, like a big multi-level game. I believe that all of us are born with the ability, with the skills that we need to be alive. It's like we've been thrown on earth with just one set of instructions that says, just go out there and experience everything that comes to you. And this is part of it. It's no different. It's no different from, having a successful business that doesn't give you any big challenges. It's like, a bad personal experience. This is just shared commonly by everyone. And I always try to look for the excitement. What is exciting? What can come out of this that can help everybody? And I could see straight away how people were coming together, how the barriers of the me and you were completely disappearing. Groups were creating to see how we could help the people that were forced to stay indoor. I joined some of these groups, and while my ex-husband and business partner was in his panic state, thinking, "Oh, we need to close everything. We can't afford to pay anybody. We need to sack everybody." I just said, "But you don't know what's happening yet. Just live the moment right now. Don't do anything." And luckily, we didn't do anything. We just let it run for a few days until the general panic settled, and then you could start see what to do. I mean, I thought people can't come out to eat. They can't come to a restaurant. They can't travel. They're stuck at home. Sometimes it might be nice for them to have to rebuild that restaurant experience in their own home. So I believed that it was the right thing to do at the time, to stay open. And because we had this new scheme that came in, luckily, when the new scheme to help all the employees became available, most of the people I knew in the restaurant industry had let all the staff go. And I don't know why, but my instinct told me that the government would do something. They couldn't just let an industry die like that. And I was thinking, I can't not try everything else before I let everyone go, because I knew that it would be so hard for people to survive. You know, I was thinking, what do we do? How can we help each other? So I thought, well, first of all, nobody will starve because we'll give them all the food that's in the restaurant. So they, you know, all the people that work with us, because I could think of my small world first, and then it became bigger and bigger, just naturally. It was a natural expansion. And then just things fell in place. It just happened. I didn't have to do anything. And I knew I didn't have to do anything. And by not doing anything, the work was done for me. I was just there to create the space for it to happen. I was silent. I actually went quite silent, which is not usual for me. And I realized, because people are telling me, well, where have you gone? Why don't we talk? We haven't spoken for 2 weeks. And it's true. I've never spent so much time without talking to my friends. I just felt the need to be quiet. And I thought, this is, you know, the best place to live my understanding of life, my game, my playfulness. I know what to do. I've never forgotten how to be a child. My best memories of life are in a kindergarten. And I think life is just that. It's just like a big kindergarten. And when we keep that wonder, sometimes when we grow up, we think too much. And we let whatever we think is life experience, which is nothing but what is happening outside, take over our thinking, and we take life too seriously. And I'm not saying that, you know, what is happening is not serious, but it's an experience like any other. And I have felt really sad to see what is happening and to see all the people that are dying. But sometimes I think, now there's this focus on all this death. People are dying constantly all the time. There is nothing different. Maybe the numbers are slightly changed. Maybe more people are dying in these circumstances other than car crashes, other than... and I feel sad when I think that these people are not there to play with us anymore. But this is what life is. And to feel sad is good, because it's part of the game. It's part of being alive, is what we need to do. So our choice is, do we let ourselves be sucked in by the outside experience and shut down in fear? Because fear is always a jail. Fear is what is stopping everybody. Because being locked in a house is not a sentence to lose your freedom. You can be free in jail. And your mind is such a beautiful, beautiful tool to explore. And when I went quiet, I saw so many things that I could do just in my area. So we never closed the restaurants. We put in place some measures to change completely the business around. And I've let people know in every way I had that we were there for them, that we were still creating joy for them, and things changed. I mean, I realize now how exciting it gets for me to see at the end of the day. I know we're just surviving. I mean, the business is not thriving, but I'm not worried one bit. I know things will change again, and things will explode from the creation, from the power of creation, and something good will come out of it. And I don't mean necessarily financially, because since this has happened, everything has fallen into place. I mean, the government has given us money to help us, and I think that money needs to be put back in there. It's not for us. It needs to be put back in there to help renew society. Our landlords have been so kind. They've given us free rent periods, and that is worth quite a lot of money, and they didn't have to do that. But it was beautiful to see that they wanted to help as well. And so it's just what I see now is such a beautiful wave of love. And first of all, I could see my own little space. And then I saw that that wave is just coming from everywhere. And it's not going from me to outside. It's going from every direction, inside, outside. It's just covering it's just, it's not, I can't explain, because I can't explain in words what I see and the joy that this is bringing to the world. And it's strange to say this in these circumstances where people that can't see this are probably going to look at me and say, you've lost it, you're completely insane. But if I can say to somebody, how would you rather live? Would you rather live in fear? Or would you rather be free? Because if you're free, it doesn't matter how much money you earn. Things will work out for you, no matter what. Things will always work out, because you're not the one that's in charge of the rules. You're only a traveler. You're only in this space because you've somehow the conditions were created for us to be here. And I think it's so beautiful to understand that and to see that, because it's what gives us freedom. The idea that all this happens and you don't have to, to sit down and cry because this is the end. Because it's not the end, it's just a change. It's just a new challenge. It's just new instructions have been thrown at us, and do what you can. Experience. And I think from this space, my businesses are doing quite well. I closed one of the shops, I reopened it. Again, it's not making any money, but I'm having so much fun. It's surviving, but I'm having so much fun because I had forgotten what it was like to go back to where I started, to be the one making ice cream, to be the one potting all this ice cream. And what I'm doing now, the ice cream shop was closed because it was non-essential, in my opinion, at the beginning. Then I thought, no, it's not true. Ice cream is happy. So what can I do to make ice cream happy? So we have all these platforms that help us to take orders. But I also thought that for every person that buys a pizza or buys from our other restaurant, we give 2 little pots of ice cream and with a little note. And I think if that can put a smile on somebody, I mean, ice cream isn't, it doesn't cost us very much to make. It's fun. And I'm really I'm working more than I've ever worked in my life. Honestly, I cannot believe how much work, physical work, is involved. It's because I have to pot all the ice cream, prepare all the boxes, make the ice cream, because my mum is the ice cream maker and she's obviously stuck in Italy. So she's on video call telling us what to do. And it's so fun. It's connecting me with my parents. They're not feeling so isolated because they've been locked in for 7 weeks now. They haven't been out for 7 weeks. And that's hard. I actually did think if Corona doesn't kill them, I'm not surprised if they kill each other, but they're doing well. They've been bickering for the last 50 years, so I guess they were prepared for it. And so really, for me, it's been to look for fun, and because if you look for fun, then you don't take yourself so seriously. You don't take the outside so seriously. And that's still there. I mean, it's still there. What changes is your understanding of it. Nothing, whether I'm laughing or whether I'm crying, nothing changes. So I might as well do something that puts me in a state that helps me create something that's good, not just for me, but for everybody, or for as far as I can reach. So that's what I see.
Lovely.
I didn't even start to think about the travel business because that one I buried. I said, that doesn't exist. Play with the other toys.
So how many pizza restaurants and ice cream shops did you have, and what format are they in right now?
Okay, so I have 2 pizza restaurants, like a baby chain, one in Bath and one in Cardiff, and 1 Italian restaurant. So these 3 are still open for deliveries and takeaways. The Italian restaurants, we've just adjusted it a bit. I've added some things on the menu, like gourmet burgers. And I thought what people want, it's difficult to make a steak travel. So I adjusted the menu. I tweaked a few things. We also have a steakhouse. That, though, we closed down. I thought it's better to concentrate on something that might work and just let the rest stay. And then I have 1 ice cream shop and another unit that is multifunction. So it opens in the summer as an ice cream shop and in the winter as a mulled wine shop. And so we had to keep some playing and some we've put to bed for the minute. They'll come back to play eventually. And we're constantly, because I'm having fun, because I'm not taking myself seriously, I can see so many things that I can do. I've already got the idea for a new business. We've already applied for another, for some other premises. I've seen the city is empty, and so you can see things you've never seen before. And I'm lucky because I'm not stuck at home because I'm going to work, so I can observe the outside as well. And it's just so incredible to know how many opportunities there are if you just let yourself see them. That's why I say to everybody that the only thing I can say is just remember when you were a child, just think of, being in Disneyland, because life is that. Just don't look from outside, just go in and play. Because when you're having fun, magic happens, and really, really magic happens. I've seen some incredible things happening that I wasn't expecting. And that just tells me, I'm just traveling. I don't have to do anything.
Well, that's just great, Francesca. Thanks so much for sharing. I mean, the whole notion of a business in your industry keeping going, but also having more joy for your customers, given what you're able to do, and those ideas coming from a sense of fun, from fear to free to fun, and then to magic. Beautiful. Charlie, was there anything that you wanted to ask or say?
No, I have no questions. Francesca said everything from her heart, and I just thought this was the most beautiful interview and so unexpected. I don't know what I expected you to say, but that you're having fun during this crisis with all of the, what it looks like a lot of responsibility for people in these places, and I just love taking the next instructions. And here we go.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing. It's going to be such a inspiration for other people to listen to this and your view on life. So yeah, that's all I have to say about it. We can close out if you like, Wim.
Thank you. It was so
grazie mille.
Grazie mille.
It's so lovely to see both of you. It's really nice.
Take care and back to the ice cream.
I will. Actually, that's where I'm going.
Joy.
Yeah.
Take care.
Bye.
Grazie, ciao.
Ciao.
Ciao.